Right then, good afternoon guys, as we enter the US session, back to the lives. Quite a nice tune this. Right, should we dive in, shall we? Just on the old multiverse at the minute, as usual. So, a few things to look at with you guys today. If you caught up on the video earlier, then you'll have seen slight concerns about the spot liquidity. I don't think it's disaster zone, but there's certainly a few things that we need to take into consideration when we are looking at the next 12-24 hours, okay? Especially if you've got leverage long or anything like that. If you've got spot long positions from a lot lower, then you know you're going to be all right, I would say. But yeah, we can certainly just see some key levels. So just looking at Ethereum top left at the minute, this is perpetuals vying for a little bit of a position. Popcat has been quite a nice one to trade in and out. As you can see, just spot and perps confluence down here. And Sol is breaking upwards and onwards after not actually filling some of its lower demand zones. So people getting a little bit left behind. So what we're going to do is we'll concentrate on BTC for a little bit. Despite doing the video earlier, let's have a look if we've got any new data points that we can look at moving into this US session, okay? And then what we'll do is we're going to look at the main assets. We'll have a look at BTC. We'll have a look at some classic tier levels in confluence with the order flows we can see here, okay? And then we're going to have a look at Sol and ETH as well and just see where they are and where they are possibly going. This was a bit of a devil move, wasn't it, yesterday on perps? That's actually perps, actually. I think it certainly did the job of scaring a few people off there, didn't it? So, yeah, interesting to see that. All right. But, yeah, so let's move on. And let's concentrate on BTC for the moment. So we can see our extensive supply zone that we've come from. And the supply did, as you can see, just down here on the aggregated depth, 1 to 10%. The supply got quite heavy yesterday, didn't it? And it certainly did its job of giving us the pullback. And we're right here, right now. Okay, let's call it what it is. Let's make it obvious. There's not much demand right here, right now. So we do have some levels just on a 15-minute time frame here. We do have some levels. We've had a slight pullback, but none of these levels have really been filled yet, and we are just looking at Binance Spot, obviously. And what we can say, let's call it as it is, the aggregated depth of book is not very good, okay? Maximum you're hitting at the minute, down in this zone, 200 million, okay? So, you know, if you're going to rise up from here, do you leave all these guys behind and just get a market bid and go and storm your way through 70k? I don't think so. I think we've got a little bit of work to do. And, you know, that can either be quick and we go and fill some demand down here, or it can take a little bit longer time. You know, maybe it takes a couple of days down here and everyone trying to get leverage long is just going to have to grind their way through this as we auction price down. Okay, so really, really easy. Let's look at it really, really simple and easy with a fresh pair of eyes. Binance Spot, no bid, no immediate bid. You've got these resting limit bids here, okay, just following down up to 65k there, okay? So your first resting limit, 66.5, and then you've got resting limits there to 65k, okay? Now, that's not going to do anything unless you get some demand confluence on those levels, okay? So, you know, I would never be one to just throw some resting limit bids in here unless you were just, you know, applying it to spot. If you're derivatives trading, leverage trading, it would always be the case that I would watch the order flow as it happens, all right? Interesting to see Bitfinex are just coming in on USDT there. So Bitfinex have got a slight bid. Bitstamp have got nothing. They've been doing some selling. Don't know what this entity thought they were doing. Probably trying to hedge a position or something. And then Coinbase, as you can see there, the confluence of Coinbase, Pro, and Binance Spot. You've got those offers at the top, and we've rotated back down. So we just clipped over 69k in the Asian session open on Sunday. Didn't quite even make it up to 70k, and we're rotating down now. Interesting to see. Coinbase Pro, no bid here really. So they've got a little bit, and I did see some people on Twitter yesterday saying, "No, Coinbase Pro really, really bid here." Yeah, not really. Sir or madam, I don't think they are. I've certainly seen better. All right, so spot books, not too good, bruv, to be honest. Okay, Gemini have been doing some selling. We looked at that the other week. They are still doing some selling. Kraken USD have got some bid a little bit lower. Okay, and Kraken USDT the same. Nothing to say from Qcoin. We're going to have to go to Perps, really. Little bit of dynamic bid coming in for Perps. Binance Perps down to 66k. All right, so while we're looking at these levels, I guess we have to consider spot, really, don't we? I would always consider Binance Spot and Binance Perps. Those are your biggest markets. BitMEX do have a little bit here, but when BitMEX are really throwing some weight into the market, I like to see a little bit more from them. I like to see really, really big, fat, dynamic orders come in and get filled on price. And same with Bitfinex. This is a really, really messy chart, so I would kind of ignore that for now, all right? So we've taken this into consideration. We've got Perps bid down to 66k, and we've got, let's concentrate on these two for now. We've got Binance Spot bid down to 65, okay? So with that taken into consideration, whereabouts are we in a classic tier environment, okay? So this is where we are. It's been a hell of a run, hasn't it? You know, and to be honest, this is why I kind of didn't do a live session last week, because we were grinding up here, and there was nothing to say. You know, you're trending up, you're going to go and attack this supply, and then we'll see what happens from there. It was uponly.com, wasn't it? So this is now the time to pay attention. If you haven't got a position, you kind of almost want to be pulling back, don't you? You know, long-sided, whether you're not in from spot or derivatives, you really want to be paying attention now. So this is a nice area where we could possibly feel some risk on bid. Okay, so a few key levels here. Okay, then what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at volume, liquidity on BTC, and then we'll move on to some altcoins, and we'll have a look at Sol, and we'll have a look at Ethereum as well, because Sol has got a very interesting chart, especially from a 4-hour basis, okay? But yeah, BTC, okay, so this is your 66k, this is your previous month value area low. I don't know why I've got that there. I think that's an absolute bullshit level, to be honest, so I'm just going to delete that. What we've got is we've got our weekly open right up there, and you can see we sold off right from the weekly open. I've seen that a couple of times in the last couple of weeks where, you know, we kind of had these moves on a Sunday, Monday, and it dictates the price action for the coming 48 hours or so, and then it tends to be like a Wednesday or Thursday at the minute. You really kick in and get the momentum to switch up, okay? But interesting to see what we've got a little bit lower if we were to get a little bit more violence is, and I like this zone if we get some real violence, but as I say, 65 to 65.5, just around here is your main area on the order flow at the minute. Okay, so let's just go to a 1 hour. So what we're looking at, yeah, so we've got that 1 hour 200 EMA, which is quite nice for a trending market. But it has to be said, I think we've come below this, to be honest, you know, so whatever you may do, draw yourself some fibs or whatever. You know, you've got a 1 hour order block there as well, just cutting under 65k. Monthly open for some real violence, just under 64k, so that'd be nice to see, wouldn't it? I do believe that'd be really nice, and it would get everybody bearish. It would get everyone bearish again if you cut into 60, you know, under 65k here. And what'll happen is, as you come down here, people will start lowering the targets. So people who maybe wanted to get in here will go, oh shit, and they'll take the foot off the gas and they'll lower the targets and go, oh, well, maybe we'll get 58k then, or fucking Kappa's 12k, some shit, I don't know. When really what they should be doing is watching the order flow, and if you get a really solid bid in these zones, especially if it's just under 65k or something, take it, you know, take it, manage your risk, and let's get stuck in and do some BTC business. Right, a couple of things I want to show you if we're going to rotate down. I think volume's having a little bit of a reset here, just on a 15-minute basis. I don't think it's going to look too bad, and you potentially, it's just the beginnings of, you potentially could be building some bullish volume divergences. As the open interest needs to come down a little bit. I'm not going to discuss funding too much because it's absolutely all over the place as people are battling in the order books. Let me just go to a 1 hour. What's that look like? Yeah, it needs to come down a little bit more, especially this open interest. Open interest cluster with the LS ratio up here is not good. If we're in a different kind of environment, and you know, we are led by the data, but if this, I'm surprised price action held so long up there, to be honest, and it says something that we must have had a really strong market bid up there into that spot supply from the books, because open interest was rather hot up there, to be honest, and yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Strong price action, but do we cut it down now a little bit? I'm in favour of that, to be honest. Okay, so volume, nothing to say on the 1 hour really. 15-minute lower time frame. Yep, it looks a little bit reset down here, does the whale volumes. So I think this could be resetting a little bit, but it don't mean to say you can't drop a little bit lower and build those divergences. What do we mean by that? Just very, very simply, let's get some almost lower lows, get everybody bearish into some lower lows here on a smaller time frame while building the bullish divergences into demand. That'd be really, really good. Just quickly then, because I did cover it in the video, you're going to have to go and watch the video if you want any more detail on it. But the liquidity chart, spot liquidity, is hot as fuck, sir and madam. So, you know, this is just a liquidity alert. I've got 10 on there. This is something that you need to be aware of, to be honest. Yeah, maybe, you know, market structure wise and stuff, weekly and monthly charts are looking really, really good, aren't they? And maybe we can absorb some of this spot supply selling that we've had, and our market bid can come in and rotate us back up. But certainly for the past few months, you can't ignore the fact that when spot liquidity gets this hot, it's usually a bit of a turning point and we need a bit of a flush. Perpetuals market there, not too bad, and we can see the open interest is high. I don't mind the open interest being too high in this kind of environment. If we're going to go for a higher time frame breakout, your open interest is probably going to sustain a little bit hot and a little bit high. All right, but certainly a warning sign from the daily point of view. Your liquidity is a little bit high. As we can see, it can come higher and chop around a little bit, but you know, if this was a month or so ago back here, God, you wouldn't just be hedging a short position, would you? You'd be fully going short and just hoping to get a little bit of a spot bid or something lower. But because classic tier wise the charts do look pretty good, let's hope for a quick flush. If anything, quick flush, reset the spot liquidity, and then we'll crack on. All right, something to be aware of. All right, let's just jump back then. 15 minutes. What's the order flow doing? So yeah, still coming down here. 5 minute. Yeah, so you can see all your order blocks here. You know, you just want to be watching this zone, and this is it for now, really. As I say, you're probably going to come down here and people will start lowering the targets when really just watch the order flow as it goes. This will be probably the next 24, 48 hours, maybe even 12 hours. I think we could come and eat some of this demand down here, and then we'll see what we get. But yeah, certainly nice to see Bitfinex USDT coming in there. The OGs at Bitfinex. I don't know if Joe 007 and all those old school traders are still over there hanging around in the Bitfinex books. If anyone knows who that is, you're a bit of an OG and you've lasted a few bear markets yourself. But yeah, we certainly need a bit more bid to summarise on BTC. Classic TA levels, not a lot to say. There's that higher time frame kind of trend line that you could argue with broken or not broken. I don't really give a shit. I just want to see some demand now if we're going to continue upwards for those higher time frames. 15-minute time frame, lower time frames, chopping about. All right, if you want to get a bit of risk on, you just need to watch the order flow. So grab a link from below and get a free trial, and join us in the socials as well. Links for those below as well. So that's BTC really. A little bit of dynamic bid coming on perps. Nothing I would particularly throw fresh longs into here, to be honest, on BTC. But yeah, that is BTC. ETH is pretty much the same. And it has to be said that the spot order books, I mean, look at this. Let me go to 15 minutes or anything. So the spot order books on ETH have been absolutely dead. I mean, it's like no one wants it, right? Apart from maybe boomer bankers, maybe they're, you know, for their ETF or whatever. But the spot order books on ETH are absolutely dead. And your nearest order block, and it's not even a big one, is down there at 2,500, yeah? A little bit of dynamic bid coming in now, but this is spot, so they can certainly fill. Let me have a look at perps. Yeah, nothing on perps really. To be honest, this was over the weekend, so not a lot to say there. So yeah, 2,500 on ETH. Right, let's go and have a look then. Let's go and have a look at the old. Let's go and have a look at Ethereum, Vitalik's coin. Let's have a look at a 4-hour and see what we can deduce. Watson, Sherlock Holmes there. If you're unfamiliar. Right, okay, so here we go on ETH. So let's draw, I haven't looked at this too much today, really. Right, so ETH is still in this range. I don't care what you call it, it's still a range. ETH BTC is decimated, has been finding some bids, so that's good to see. So ETH is just sat on its point of control with the monthly open a little bit below. I've got an alert there. What's that for? A 1 hour? Okay, I'll have a look at the 1 hour in a second. where is optimal area? Probably is in that 2500 zone if we can get it. Where is that coming in? Monthly VWAP just there. Okay, so if you're a bit of a levels nerd like myself, go and grab this and get it on its key levels by Leviathan. Go and get this on your trading view chart. Very, very easy just to drop on. Yeah, monthly VWAP just down there. Okay, and then that apparently Nick has set an alert, and it's apparently coming in near a 1 hour EMA. Oh, it's not anymore because it's risen up. Right, so I'm going to get rid of that. So yeah, you've got a little bit of an order block here. So you've got a 1 hour order block on the monthly VWAP. Let's get it over with. Sellers all your coins and fuck off, basically. That's my sentiment, because I think we're still in for a good month or 2 months or so, and then we'll probably have Christmas, where we nuke it over Christmas or New Year or something like that. Normally when people are asleep, that was in the old FTX SBF days that we used to do that. It was always on Thanksgiving. Right, so ETH, yeah, ETH sat on the POC. No real bid on it though in the order flow. So, you know, looking left, yeah, okay, it's a level, but is it much of a level? Maybe. I would favour a little bit lower, that 2500 area where your first order block is coming in that we've just had a look at. All right, so what's up next? We're going to have a look at Sol. Let's have a look at, yeah, coming down. I mean, it maybe does hold here, ETH, but it's, fucking hell, I certainly wouldn't long it. Leave it alone. Right, Sol has been very, very strong. Aggregated depth has been quite good. Not too bad at all. You know, if BTC has been moving, then so has Sol. Mentioned to the guys in Discord the other day that this is exactly why I don't want to short coins like this, even when they're in a supply zone, because you're not getting much from it. And what they are actually doing is just doing support to resistance to support flips. You see the way the dynamic bid comes back in right at those previous supply zones. So Sol is absolutely smashing its supply, obviously coming back now with the rest of the market. First level on spot 160, and then you've got some other fresh levels down there at 150. I'm not sure it gets down there in one clip, because Perp's bid on Sol is very much suggesting uponly.com, and it has to be said that the if we just go to the Sol chart on a 4 hour basis, which actually isn't 4 hour, it's 288, 288 minutes. Thank you very much, CL on Twitter, for posting that. Good tip. Right, so Sol, as we can see, this was its range. This was Sol's range. Let me just pull that a little bit further, and then we can have a look. What's going on, Soy Boy? Right, so Sol came back up. I actually had an alert back here, but it didn't quite trigger. I can't remember where that was. I didn't have an alert there. But what we can see is it basically broke its value area. It's a value area high, value area low. Point of control there for Sol is 143, okay? Sol broke its value area high there, failed, came back. Similar again here, when BTC had its run, pushed up, came back, tested its value area high, or its previous value area high, and it's away to the races. So really, really strong asset. Something to look for if we do get some violence down again. What did we see in the order flow? 150-ish. Monthly open 152 on Sol there. Okay, so something for consideration. If you get some violence down on Sol to that 150 region, gonna look good. Your further trend, your further trend on Sol is actually a little bit further away. High time frame trend here was that point there. Not sure we get right down there unless there's real nukesville, but we'll have to see. Yeah, monthly open 152. That was your nearest dynamic bid, wasn't it? Let's have a look. 160, right down here. So yeah, you'd need some serious violence to get down there on spot market and Sol, especially after that. Yeah, I'd maybe be in favour of looking at about 160, because what percentage wise are we talking there? Quick maths, yeah, -3 to 4%. You know, -3 to 4%. What does that bring in with BTC as well? Yeah, it probably is a similar amount on BTC. Go and fill all this, and then we'll see what we get. But yeah, Sol, very strong asset indeed. Certainly, if you do get any dips, I think they are for buying. All right, guys. So that's the main ones covered. Give us a shout in the chat if there's any others you need me to look at. Has to be said, I'm not playing too many alts in derivatives at the minute. Had a little bit of an STX long yesterday that I shared with the guys. That's possibly going to come down a little bit lower, to be honest, if the rest of the market turns. Rune is very strong as well, as we can see. Not had any alerts on it for a little while, but if you are getting alerts on Rune, they set, like you see here, this green cross, okay, that is our alt diamond and top level. They certainly need to be taken into consideration, especially if the market is moving well. Even if you are just scalping, moves like that, absolute scalp city. All right, so Rune is a good one. But yeah, STX is one that normally moves well with BTC. The only trouble is it did get some bid pulled yesterday. So over the weekend we were looking at it here, but then it got pulled. It got a little bit of bid pulled, so filled a little bit there, and then said to the guys this morning, I think this is probably going to rotate a little bit lower with BTC, because there's no commitment from whoever this is here bidding down here. There's no real strong commitment, to be honest. You know, and in actual fact, it's probably still in a state where the shorts are paying more dividends than the longs on STX, to be honest. I mean, look at this. It's not something I would have taken because it's a little bit too far from its order block up here. But yeah, the bears are still hammering price down on that one. So very, very interesting. Right. Couple of other alts I need to look at with you today, because they are moving really, really well, to be honest. Okay. Let's go for some memes, shall we? Okay. First one on the show, PopCap. Moving really, really well. So this was at the weekend. A couple of guys posted this in the socials. PopCap, absolute beaut trade. If you took it, not too interested in trading the weekends myself, to be honest, especially if I know I'm going to be away from desk. But certainly, you know, you want to be having a look at stuff like this. Really, really solid perps bid from PopCap up into the supply. You know, even if you're just trading this on DEX, you want to be having a look at the order flow from the exchanges. So this is perpetuals on Binance. All right, let's go and have a look at a couple of others. A couple that have been pretty quiet is WIF and Pepe, to be honest. I think we still need, they're consolidating a little bit, aren't they? Because they were a little bit leaders of the market a few weeks ago, weren't they? Pepe and WIF certainly did lead the market. Pepe's getting some perps bid here. I'm not too fussed for that. I think, sorry, WIF is. I quite like WIF when it gets some spot bid. That certainly needs to be taken into consideration. Pepe, have I got Pepe on here? Yeah, Pepe, let's have a look, see what it's doing. Is it getting any bid? No, not really. And as you can see from the aggregation, actually, it's in a very, very much aggregated supply zone. Where is that coming from? It's actually coming from Bitfinex. Messy chart. Bitfinex, Binance, Spot are not too bothered in bidding Pepe right here, right now. And Huobi, perpetuals are really selling into Pepe here, which is, you know, just really adding into that supply zone there. Interesting. Okay. Other assets, I've been getting a few alerts for Tier and another one that I think can be a strong asset, along with a couple of others as well. But I don't like the, he's basically say, okay, so keep an eye on this one. I think it will move well when the market decides that it's put in a little bit of a local bottom and has a turnaround. I've been looking at these alerts, and certainly this one back here was a nice one to play for a day trade. You got some nice price action there. But when I'm getting alerts like this, and there's no real strong bidder sat under price and looking for a fill to say, yes, this is it. This is it. This is your floor. Send it back up. I think perps here, yeah, not too much edge in perps. That's really what I want to see, you know, to be honest. We're only looking at about 4 million aggregated bid on spot books here and perpetuals. Maybe this is it. This is just the alt diamond and top level pro shared in all the socials. You know, it's certainly getting a bid. The alerts are telling you to look at the charts and, you know, see what's going on. The only thing about this is, and I think I've got this on a 20% range, you see this down here at 0.38, okay, so for any deviation down lower, I'd be interested to see whatever entity that is down here. I mean, that's quite a distance, you know, I'm not sure it gets down there in one clip, but I'd be quite interested to see if this entity down here at 38, we'll just call it 385, if they want a fill. Certainly would be interested in that. What's Uni doing? 3 point, I wonder why that is. Wasn't there some news out or something that Uni wasn't doing much in, surely it must be doing good transactions at the minute. I don't know what that was. Let's have a look at what Perps was doing. Yeah, someone was bidding it up on Perps. Big wick there. Not really into trading stuff like this. I mean, I was just about to say generally it doesn't move very well, but it does. But yeah, I think there's other coins that can move better than that and sustain the moves as well, to be honest. Sue is obviously downonly.com and still getting sold into. So whether you've been trading Sue or not, or you're just a spot holder, you need to be aware that this freaking thing, it's had a really good run the past couple of months, but it's really getting sold into now, and the spot market is still hovering offers above price, so just be aware of that, guys. All right. Same with perpetuals. They're actually just see these perpetual offers coming down and capping price on Sue. I don't think it's over for this one yet, to be honest. So yeah, if you're interested in that one, keep an eye on it. What other ones we need to look at? Yeah, give us a shout in the chat if there's any alts you need me to look at. I've not been going over all the alts, to be honest. I'm trying to press less buttons at the minute. Is Reef making a comeback? No, it's detonated. Didn't it drop like, oh, that was nasty. Yeah, it dropped like 60% the other day. Volleyed back up. That would have been a good liquidation. And then it's come back down. It's probably dead now for the next couple of months. I have to say, I don't even know what Rune does. Render is one I'm keeping an eye on because you've got this dynamic bidder who keeps stepping in and out of the market. It's another one that I think will do well along with FTM, say, and a couple of others. And it's certainly got some spot bid interest around here as well. So tried this one the other week. It's it kind of you didn't get much from it. It kind of rotated over. So certainly one that, yeah, Perps market coming in and bidding, that's quite nice. If the market wants to have a little bounce today, that's nice. It might be worth a play. But yeah, certainly one I would keep an eye on. Larson and Kamala Harris's coin is nuking. Thank you very much, because he's just given $10 million worth of XRP to the Lizard Democrats. So nice to see. Let's absolutely nuke this down to 0 so that they get half price on that. That'd be really good. Thank you very much. If anyone has the facility to nuke XRP, that would be appreciated. Absolute Illuminati coin. But other coins, there's not a lot to say really, is it? I think Link, let me have a look at Link Marine. Link has got some stuff going on. Trending up, isn't it? Actually, it's got some good depth to the bid as well. Though. Look at that. Nice. Okay, what is that from? Perps? Who's bidding Link? Kraken. Kraken are bidding Link. Very much so. Interesting. Clever boys and girls. Yeah, they've got something going on, haven't they, in the next week or so. Yeah, nice. Jup and Ray are doing very well, along with Sol. Mentioned that the other week. I said that these coins would start trending well. It was probably weeks back. Normally a little bit early for, to my own detriment. But Ray doing very well. Also, absolute killer charts on Ray as well. And again, these supply zones, they may be effective if you just, hedging a position for one trade. But these supply zones are just getting absolutely smashed. And if you are interested in stuff like Ray, this is just a spot chart. But you've got some dynamic bid following up at 2.27 there. That's a bit of an odd number, but that is the kind of the way I would trade as well. I don't like round numbers. So, yeah, if you're not in on Ray and you believe it's going to do well, these are the levels you need to consider. All right, guys. Pendle's a good asset, isn't it? And it's been absolutely, a lot of these alts are really doing well, really trending up hard, aren't they? So it's nice to see. It is very nice to see. Right, back to BTC. What is it doing? It's still at the same price it was when I looked at it this morning, to be honest. Yeah, not a lot to see. I think I was trying to get that video out just before we dropped, but editing it this morning, and then we started to drop as I was getting the video out. So I was like, we started to drop here. We've not dropped that much really, have we, to be honest? We're still bouncing around similar price the last 24 hours. But yeah, I was trying to get that video out as a little bit of a warning to say, if we come down, it's kind of to be expected, guys, and I certainly don't particularly see a reason to long BTC right here, right now, in any way, shape or form, to be honest. Unless you are an absolute lower time frame scalper, I think you're going to get a little bit more value in just being patient and waiting to see what happens. All right, guys. So yeah, if no one's got any questions, it's pretty simple, really. I won't drag the live session out too long. I will try and get another live session in this week because I think trading wise, we're maybe going to be a little bit more active this week than we have been in the last week or so. You know, it can be, it's great for your portfolio and your spot books when we are trending up, obviously. But there's not a lot to do. You know, you've just got to let it run, and, you know, you got to hope for these drops like we're potentially seeing now to then maybe, do you add a bit of risk? Do you hedge a short? Do you add a bit of risk? So this is the kind of time for me when it gets a little bit more entertaining. You can look at the altcoins, you know, maybe if you've not got exposure to a certain altcoin that you want, you can look to get some exposure. And now is the time to really manage your trades. You know, do I want to hedge a short here? Do I want to add a bit more risk if we're going to come down to, you know, longs that I've got on already? So this is really, really nice to see. It makes for a lot better trading. And a lot more, you know, it keeps us busy, doesn't it? Whereas the last week or so, especially last week, when it was just uponly.com, okay, so you're moving down from that bid. That was our last BTC Diamond a couple of weeks ago, up. And the trouble is with these, so these are all like, these are a mixture of group spot, and there's probably a couple of BTC Diamonds in there as well. Diamonds, obviously just taking into account your perpetuals market as well. The trouble with all these is, even when you're at this price point here at 66, which isn't obviously too far from where we are now, 70k was always the level. Okay, 70k was always the level. Okay, so there's not a lot to do. There's not a lot to do. Just let it do its thing, you know. Let it get up there and let it prove it. You know, if these guys want to sell into it, these I'm not going to mention politics again. if these blue-haired liberals want to sell into spot, they'll sell the spot Bitcoin here, you know. Then so be it, you know, take it off their hands. If you've got some capital, take it off their hands, and I think you'll have a good couple of years, you know. So yeah, summary, should we summarise? Drop any questions now, or if there's any alts you need to look at, or forever hold your peace. But I think it's pretty easy here, to be honest. A little bit more activity this week, I do believe. Ideally come down a little bit. Why? Aggregated bid. We've hardly got anything. All right, we've got absolutely nothing. So if you are to move up right here, right now, okay, and then attack 70k with vengeance and break out, you are going to need one hell of a market bid to really, really push that up. And I can't foresee it at the minute, okay? So maybe this just takes a little bit of time. You come down, we reset that spot liquidity, okay? Give them the fills. Let them make offers, give them the fills. We come back down. Okay, maybe it doesn't take that much, but I would, you know, I think under 65 would be good because it would clear these orders, and actually, it's not really any kind of psychological level. You just tick under 65, it would be good, because then, you know, psychological wise, what people will start doing is then they will get scared here if they haven't got the data to see that we have, and what they'll do is they'll say, oh shit, okay, I think 62 then, or 61, or oh no, I think we're going to go back down to 58, you know, when really, if it comes down to this zone, get your chart open, especially just on a 5 minute. If you're looking to bid in, I have it on not a 1 second, but I'd have it on like a 1 minute chart or something. Then I'm looking down here, and as soon as you start to see these ratios fill up, you know, if you're familiar with the platform, you'll just see these ratios start to fill up. Maybe flick to your volume. Do we still have some divergences as we hit down there? You know, maybe volumes curling up as open interest nukes. Cherry on the cake is funding low, you know. And I think that'll be our next trade, to be honest. And obviously, if BTC is cutting down into that zone, if there's any alts you need exposure to, that is the time to have a look. Because maybe this takes only a couple of days, and you're up only again for the next couple of weeks. But that spot liquidity that we looked at the beginning certainly needs resolving, I would say. I've never seen a time when we have... maybe someone might have to fact check me and go and have a look at the chart, grab the template and go and have a look at it yourselves. But I've never known a period of data where spot liquidity has looked like it has, and we've broken out with aggression and then kept going. You know, maybe you can break up, but more than likely you're going to just fill more offers and rotate back down. So what we want is, if we're going to get a big breakout over 70k, it'd be nice to reset everything, while we're still up here at a good technical level, reset everything onwards and upwards. Big reset, onwards and upwards, into demand, go, go, go. All right, guys. So that's it, really. What I'll do is I'll try and at the desk a little bit more this week. So I'll try and get a Twitter live in if we hit some real volatility here. But if anything, what I'll do is I won't predict when this might happen, you know, one way or the other, but I'll try and get some sort of live session in where we can actually see the data and acknowledge what's going on together. All right, guys, but yeah, that's it really. Nice quick one today. Hope everyone has a brilliant week. If you've been struggling, go check out the Academy. Plenty of free stuff in there. I am still working on some videos, new videos in the background as well. Just been busy with a couple of other things. But yeah, go join the socials. Go and have a look at the Academy, see if that's something you'd be interested in. Join us in the private Discord. A lot more trade setups in there as well. And let's have a great week. Let's have a great week and end to the month. So a little bit of time until the end of the month. I think we finish the month green, very much so. Let's have a good one. Cheers, guys.